Hello and welcome to the My Food video, Eating Well with GI Cancers. I am Lucy Eldridge, I'm an oncology dietitian and I've supported this programme giving dietetic and nutritional advice. Nutrition can help with the whole pathway. It can help you with your weight, it can help you feel stronger, it can help you be able to continue your activities of normal daily living. Through this video we'll be hearing from cancer patients and their carers of their lived experience of having a GI cancer and how they manage their nutrition during this time. Every person with metastatic colorectal cancer is different, and how you respond to treatment and the medication that you take will impact your nutrition in different ways. We know that nutrition can impact on how the cancer develops, how you respond to your treatment, your daily well-being, and how you manage the symptoms that you experience. Ideally, the focus should be on a balanced, nutritious diet. However, there will be times, because of the treatment, because of the symptoms that you experience, that your appetite will decline. In these circumstances, small frequent meals with small snacks in between may be more manageable. Choosing foods that are high in protein, such as chicken and fish, or to include nuts and seeds within the diet, will ensure that you have adequate protein. Fortifying foods using drizzles of olive oil on vegetables and salad can greatly enhance the amount of energy that you consume. If you're having chemotherapy or radiotherapy and are travelling into a hospital for this, some have found that having a lighter meal 2 to 3 hours before you travel allows the stomach to settle. So choosing foods that are low in fibre, low in fat and are not too spicy are easier to manage. Some of you, due to the side effects of treatment, may have taste alterations. This can be either a dulled sensation to taste or an enhanced sensation. You may be able to taste metals in water, for example. This can be supported by playing with the flavours in your food. You can mask the metallic taste in water by using cordials or slices of lemon. You can marinate meat beforehand, which again can help with the flavour if you've experienced a change. If you experience swallowing difficulties, then adapting the textures of food can be key. So choosing foods that are very soft, that are moist, that are much easier to slip down, you will find more manageable. For lunch and dinner, you may choose soups, but do ensure that they have a protein base to them. And then choosing foods such as custards, ice cream, mousse. They're dairy based, they have a good source of protein and again will slip down easily. Another symptom is nausea and vomiting. Again, be led by your health professional as to how you can manage this. But with regards to diet, there are simple things you can do to make things more manageable. So foods such as peppermint and ginger may help. Choosing bland foods such as bread or a plain biscuit may be more manageable, as can cold foods, as these have a lot less smell and therefore are less likely to trigger nausea. Treatments can also alter our bowels, so you may experience diarrhea. During this time, you may find it easier to have foods that are low in fibre. Having foods such as plain chicken and well-cooked vegetables may be easier to tolerate at this time. Alternatively, you may experience constipation. It's important that you check with a health professional at this time before you alter your diet. You may benefit though from choosing foods that are high in fibre, so brown bread, whole grain products, ensuring that you have plenty of fruit and vegetables, and also to remain well hydrated. For those of you that are preparing for surgery, a way that you can help is by trying to ensure that you have as a nutritious diet as you can in the lead up to this time. Choosing foods that are high in protein in particular can really help ensure that you are as strong as possible and support the recovery period afterwards. Following surgery, diet will need to be adapted you will often start on fluids, with then a gradual reintroduction of texture, starting with a pureed diet and then moving on to a soft diet. This will be led by your surgical team. We are now going to see a demonstration of a nutritious meal that you can share with your family. It has plenty of vegetables, a good amount of calories, and is quick and easy to prepare. Vegetable Cumberland pie is a great example of a tasty meal if you're living with a GI cancer. These are the key steps for the recipe. Boil the potatoes until tender, then drain and make a soft mash using a little of the milk. In a large thick bottom saucepan, measure out the oil and put on a medium heat. Add the chopped onion and cook until translucent. Crush the garlic into the pan and add the butternut squash, red pepper, mushrooms and courgettes and sauté for 3 to 4 minutes. Carefully sprinkle the flour and sweet paprika into the pan, stirring all the time. Cook for 1 minute on a low heat. Gradually add the rest of the milk, stirring all the time to avoid lumps to form a sauce. Stir the drained butter beans into the sauce with some black pepper and pour the contents into a large oven-proof dish. Top with mashed potato and bake in the oven for 30 minutes until golden brown. This recipe can be served with a portion of lightly cooked green vegetables, such as broccoli or cabbage, or some sliced tomatoes. Barbara and Mark are now going to share with us their lived experience of colorectal cancer. Barbara, following your diagnosis, can you share with us the challenges you faced with regards to your diet and how you overcame these?
When I was first diagnosed, it was a shock to all of us. We weren't expecting it at all. But chemotherapy was implemented very soon after my diagnosis, and that brought about so many changes. It made me feel very, very tired, especially the first 5 days for me. And there were treatments for that. But it also made me feel very sick, and when you feel sick, you don't want to eat.
And how did you manage after surgery?
I wasn't allowed to eat after surgery until I could pass wind. And unfortunately, I got an infection in the hospital. And so it was 11 days before I was allowed to eat. But it's not as difficult as it sounds, because in fact, when you're not feeling so good, you don't want to eat. And when I did eat again, it was very gradual, for instance, soup and white bread. And later on, when I was healthier, it got much easier and I got an appetite. I think one of the main things when I was ill was that I listened to my body, so that I would eat when I was hungry, and at times when I wasn't hungry, then I would wait and I'd use fortifying drinks.
And Mark, from your perspective as a caregiver, how did you find this period of time?
You feel very guilty about the things that you can enjoy, which they can't. And preparing food, of course, is one of the large things in your life you enjoy doing together. So I prepared many meals that Barbara could eat, and I had to eat when she was resting, so that it wasn't something that I couldn't be seen doing in front of her. I felt unhappy to do that. But we've always been very good to communicate with one another. We were always able to talk to each other. I think that's an important issue, that you can express your feelings and say what you want if she couldn't eat.
So what was the impact of this on socialising with family and your wider circle of friends?
Mealtimes was a social time for our family. My brother and sister-in-law would invite us over for a meal every fortnight, and I really looked forward to this. And even if I couldn't eat much, it was just great to be there, and it helps things to feel normal. They had to think about what they served. Occasionally, the food was too spicy or too hot, but it was fine. I would just eat what I could and not eat what wasn't good for me.
meal times are traditionally a very family time. It's a time for socialising, but there are times when this can present its challenges. Being invited out to eat with family and friends can make you quite anxious, so here are some top tips to help with this situation. If choosing to go to a restaurant, check the hygiene rating before you go. This will help ease your anxiety, as during this time you may be immunocompromised. Before you go to the restaurant, it may also be worth checking the menu online so you can choose what you want to eat before you get there. If your appetite's poor, choosing a starter or a side dish may be better than choosing a main meal that you feel you may not be able to finish. Don't be afraid to talk to the restaurant if you have any special requests. When you arrive at the restaurant, locate where the bathroom is in case you need to go urgently. If you're going to a friend's house to eat, speak to them beforehand, let them know what you can and can't eat, or take food with you, as this may make you feel more comfortable. Hopefully you found these tips useful. But if you do need further advice or guidance, do speak to your healthcare teams. Thank you so much for watching the My Food video. For further advice, do look at the My Food patient brochure.